Hello, 10th grade. It's Miss Wisler. I am here to tell you a little bit more about my expectations for the Antigone assignment and give you a couple of tips moving forward. So, the Antigone assignment, you are going to work with your groups to create a scene based on Antigone. But what you'll be doing, rather than going through the plot of Antigone, is choosing your own conflict, a modern conflict that has a different setting, different characters, written in contemporary English, but utilizes the form and structure of Antigone, as well as some of the ideas about what a tragedy is, also dealing with conflict and resolution. You can be inspired by the characters, and be inspired by some of the themes as much as you please. Just generally speaking, though, the main thing you're doing is choosing a different conflict entirely, but using the same kind of structure, the same dramatic structure. So thinking about how each episode looks, each scene looks, when writing or thinking about the actual conflict and how it's going to play out. So what you should have done by the end of today, which is Friday the 12th, is honestly pages 1 and 2. So you need to have a brief description of your transposed conflict, really get into detail about what it is. Again, conflicts can range from global and contemporary issues, such as maybe you want to have a family that is debating immigration policies. Maybe there's a family member that really believes in immigration and wants to protect immigrants, and other family members who want to obey the laws regarding immigration and illegal immigration. This could also be something much more lighthearted or localized, conflicts between teachers and students. You could do something really silly, like a made-up business and some people having trouble there. One student did a very similar project in the middle school where they had a kindergarten class debating the unfairness of classroom jobs. Something like that. Any of those would be fine. Go with your heart. Do create something original. If you want to be inspired by another story, that's fine. All I ask is that you do create semi-original characters and really play up the Antigone aspects, the dramatic aspects of Antigone. Assign some roles. Make sure everybody has a fair amount to do. Everybody has some sort of role. It could be that you're taking on more than one roles if you need more support with writing, for example, or somebody needs to really pull their weight with costumes. On page 2, make sure that you give names and descriptions of the characters in your version of the play. I would say avoid using the original names of the characters from Antigone. Make names that are going to be meaningful, and descriptions of the characters that are meaningful for your conflict. And then finally, start working on the actual scenic overview. You don't have to go into tons and tons of detail here, but tell briefly how each scene is going to transpose itself into the conflict. So, for example, if you do choose something like illegal immigration, thinking about the prologue and the paredos, how maybe there's two siblings, one of which really cares deeply about the rights of immigrants and the other which wants to obey the law, how that would play out, generally speaking. Versus later on when you have maybe Korean and a Tiresias type characters, what would that look like? Is there maybe some sort of semi-prophetic character or like an inspiring cultural figure that has a way to convince the Korean type character who's maybe maybe a leader of anti-immigration policy, something like that. It's kind of, again, up to you. These are just ideas I'm throwing out there. I do want you to craft scenes, like scenic overviews, before I actually give you a scene, because that's also going to help you when you actually go about writing your full scene. And again, it is going to be kind of, that'll be what I assign to you. And I do expect all that to be done. By Monday, end of Monday, or beginning of Tuesday, I will actually assign you a scene. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, you will write the scene and plot it out, and then perform it on Thursday of next week. So that's all. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me. I've also created a discussion board. I will try and check it while I'm at my training about every hour. So just keep that in mind. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can, but we will be at a training. So that's pretty much it. Again, you don't need to do tons and tons of detail, but do enough so that come Monday or beginning of Tuesday, when I actually assign you a scene, you know approximately what it needs to look like and what you're going to do. take a look at the rubric on the back. If you have any other questions or if there's anything that is still unclear, please email me ASAP. Okay, have a good time on Friday without me. I'll see you guys on Monday.